Welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Tyler Cullen. He is an AI enthusiast, entrepreneur, and we'll learn about how one can balance business, tech, and humor while running an Etsy shop. He does that and also pursuing an MBA. So we learned a lot of things about cybersecurity, about sales, about lot of things AI. Welcome to the show, Tyler.
KJ, appreciate it. How are you?
Very good, very good. Welcome to the show. Welcome to India in this online form, Tyler. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we are going to talk right now. We'll talk, as I said, he talks about AI, he talks about sales, and he talks about cybersecurity. We'll talk all of that. But before that, Tyler, if you can tell a bit about your journey, your background, so that people know who they are listening to.
Yeah, much appreciated, and thank you for having me on. Like I said before we started up, this is my first time doing a podcast, so it's a little bit of a learning curve. So I appreciate any patience and all of that. But yeah, no, I have gone through. I'm only 25 years old, but I am juggling a lot of different things. I have my hand in a bunch of different pots, and it's been a lot. I do a lot with AI. I've been self-taught with that. I've learned a lot in the business world as well, and doing sales for an awesome cybersecurity software company, and yeah, I'm just here to kind of learn what the podcasting world is about, and maybe share some of my tips and some of the things that I've learned along the way.
Absolutely, Tyler. So, firstly, for the audience, I want to understand what is it that sparked your interest in artificial intelligence and cybersecurity?
Yeah, so I think AI is kind of its own beast, right? Like, it's something that you hear about every day now, and like, I feel like we're really in the golden age, where we're at least at the beginning of the golden age of AI, and you're talking about the evolution from machine learning to now full on AI. And at first it was just kind of a buzzword thrown out there, and now I feel like every day it's something that I use as a tool. It's something that everyone else uses to automate and to make themselves more efficient. So honestly, I use it as an instrument to make my day-to-day a lot easier. It's really something that I'll have every day, and it's become second nature to me. I think a lot of people are gonna kind of realize that it emphasizes the skills and the tools that you already have in your mind, and it basically just augments them. And I use it as a way to be more efficient and to reach those levels of success. So
Absolutely, Tyler. So AI, when you talk about, when AI started 2022 end, that must you were around, so 22, 23 yourself. Now you said you are 25.
yeah.
And you are doing an MBA. So when you look at AI, do you sometimes get a bit concerned about that AI, even though it is helpful in a few things, it may also, by the time you reach to that after your MBA, it will reduce your chances of a good position down there. A lot of things can be done by AI itself.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think at first it was almost concerning, because you don't realize all the things that you can do with AI. It's like a blank canvas. And basically, like, I always have said that knowledge like learning and growing and being a lifelong learner is good in and of itself, right? It's something that motivates me. Is I always want to keep an open mind and continue to learn all the time, really, day by day, month by month. So at first it's like, well, is the AI hindering your ability to learn new things? Is it, if everything is done for you, are you really learning? And I think that the answer is yes, you are. It's just a different type of learning. It's like how a carpenter would learn how to use a hammer to hammer a nail. It really is just another tool. I actually feel like I've learned more in some cases on new skill sets, how to prompt the AI to get what you want out of it, how to maximize the AI. And it's to the point where I think AI and learning how to prompt AI could be the next coding of this generation. And especially for folks my age, knowing how to actually interact with the AI and how to use it for business, for even like planning. I do it like a lot for just like social planning and like, okay, I'm talking to this person and this person, and this person likes to go to the bar and this person doesn't like to go to the bar, and this person prefers to do outdoors activities. And you almost like you're almost like, I think that would actually be the only issue, is like you get down this rabbit hole and like you're trying to optimize everything with the AI. So like I think that's something that, you know, might concern me down the road, is like maybe there are some things that don't always need to be optimized, right? So it's just very interesting. It's something that has caught my attention since day one, and I'm definitely happy to share any tips or tidbits on AI for sure.
Absolutely, Tyler. But you see, everyone is using AI. Everyone is using all these things that are available in today's time. And as a young person, you are now being brought the way that the world outside that in a way does not exist. Seems like you were born with all these things till when you started looking at things, consciously. In terms of, but one thing
Yeah,
is a
no,
back in terms of, yeah, you were saying something.
oh, no. I was just gonna say, yeah, I think it's one of those things that you always have to be adapting, and nobody wants to be left behind, whether it was social media growing up or whether it was making websites or being an influencer or putting your name out there. Nobody wants to be left behind and feel left out. So I think you're seeing that a lot more with AI and how people interact with it.
Absolutely. So one fact is there that, in terms of data privacy, data security, cyber security, a lot of scams, scamming is happening online. You are almost like you just don't know. You feel that some of your data is with you, but you also know that it's not with you. It's with so many other people out there. So you just trust that you are, you do not have so much that they would be interested in you. But you are very much exposed. How do you look at this part of cyber security when your data is almost public and anyone can access it?
Yeah, and that's a good segue too, because that's something that I'm in the trenches on. That's really something that I handle day to day, because I help to advise smaller businesses and businesses that are getting just getting their start. And a lot of times you don't have the resources to uh, to understand like fully what the impact could be from a cybersecurity standpoint. And as much as there are a lot of bad actors out there, there are also a lot of good actors as well, and people who can use their skills for good and use that to help some of the smaller businesses, like the little guy, I think sometimes people forget that there's two sides to every coin. And the company that I work at, they actually gave me permission to mention the name, but it's called Bugcrowd. It is an up and coming cybersecurity firm, but the catch is that we actually have a global network of ethical hackers and researchers that are always willing to step up and protect the little guy, like I mentioned. So it's a perfect fit for the small businesses that I advise, because not a lot of people have the resources. So what we're able to do is we connect the small businesses with this wide network of hackers that are willing to find any vulnerabilities and use their basically be the good guys. It's like a whole network of superheroes that are out there fighting off the people that aren't being good actors, or people who are trying to take advantage of these smaller companies. So it's a really cool spin on cybersecurity. I think you'll see more of crowdsourced. It's called crowdsourced cybersecurity. You'll see more of that in the future, because people are realizing, like, you can save so many resources, because instead of hiring, one person to look at your cybersecurity and try to basically, like, you have one person making a dam, or like one beaver making a dam, versus having hundreds of thousands of beavers making a dam. It's like you're going to have a stronger way to block out those attackers and block out any bad actors that might be out there. So that's kind of my take on cybersecurity. I've kind of come to understand crowdsourced security and what its potential could be, but it's very cutting edge. And it's also, that paired with AI too, is like, it's a really powerful 1-2 punch.
Right. So how do you balance that with a small business? Any particular tips? You run a small business, you have an Etsy shop also. So how can one balance it very well? Especially, as you said, small businesses do not have that budget. So all I can do is, as a small business, I can put up some antivirus and all. But you see, I've got lots of data of customers. So how do I do it as a small business, Tyler?
Yeah, and I think that's a good question too. Like I don't know if if running my business well is a good way to put it, because I'm just really just starting out. I'll shamelessly plug my my Etsy shop. It's Printable Pair Designs. It's just more of a place where I can make some wacky designs, and it really is like almost a way for me to not take myself so seriously. I think everyone needs to laugh, and everyone needs to kind of like just let go. Like I don't really think my Etsy shop is a serious small business, so I don't want to insult the small businesses that I that I actually serve, right? But yeah, I mean, I do worry that if my shop reaches a certain amount of success, I mean, man, I haven't had an Etsy sale in so long. So maybe your audience in India can help me out with that, AJ. I think that but as I grow, maybe there is a little bit of a fear. Like, what if someone tries to scam me? I know when I was starting out, actually, there were I would get notifications in the Etsy app, and it would say, oh, I bought this product, and you didn't give me the product or something like that. And it's like, I didn't even sell you anything. I didn't even get a notification that I sold you anything in the first place. So where's this coming from? But yeah, having crowdsourced security, the way to fight it is to empower the hacker community, the people that are good in the hacker community, the people who, these are all the good guys. I think that sometimes people forget, like I said, there's two sides to every coin, and the best way to, fight fire is with fire. So we have those hundreds of thousands of hackers that are doing their best, and the way that you can curb that as a small business is to have everything out in the open. Like, we have this thing called a vulnerability disclosure program, right? And a lot of good cyber citizens and a lot of world renowned companies are using crowdsourced security, but it's almost like if you're hiding something, or like if sometimes the best way to like lessen the blow, right, is just like get it out in the open. Like, let's say there was an embarrassing picture of me or something like that. It's like, well, the best way to confront that is just getting it out in the open and laughing at yourself a little bit. And like, it takes the power away from the bad actors if you're just out in the open with your vulnerabilities, right? So that's where we come in. The vulnerability disclosure program is a forum where all of our hackers in our hacker community can go to companies and say, hey, you have this vulnerability, you have this issue within your software or something like that. And they'll go and they'll tell you, hey, like, I want to be a good cyber citizen. I want to help you out, and I want to get it out there for you and your company before a bad actor gets a hold of it. And they're the ones sharing it and they're spinning the narrative. So it takes the power away from those bad actors if you can get ahead of your vulnerabilities and stay proactive with a disclosure program, which in the States is becoming more and more of a requirement rather than like a nice to have. We also do pen testing, which is, that's a standard practice across every industry now. So using crowdsourced security and using the crowd of ethical researchers that we have, we're able to pick the perfect person for the job. Like, so we're able to pick, if you think about it, like, you have a whole network of good hackers at your disposal. These are people who have been vetted, who are amazing at what they do. And they're, in my opinion, they're like the cyber doctors. Like, these are people who are, they don't get thanked a lot. They're just trying to make a living with their skills that they have. And these are like people who are really stepping up in a big way to make sure that the world is a safer place. It's amazing. But yeah, you power like a simple pen test. Like, before, it's just like, okay, we're just scanning for vulnerabilities within within someone's software or their web application or something like that. But you take that and you power it with the thousands of researchers that we have. The odds of you getting the right person for the job are so high, because then we use AI to basically match each ethical hacker with the company. So it's almost like a matchmaker, like a dating app or something like that. But instead of matching two people, you're matching one of these very skilled hackers with a company and to do their security testing. So there's a lot of power in that. And then I guess the last thing with Bugcrowd and with cybersecurity and what I do, advising some of these smaller companies, is they do bug bounty programs. So that's kind of like the namesake is a bug bounty program. What is that? It's basically a way for ethical hackers to get paid finding vulnerabilities. So if there's a high priority vulnerability that someone finds within another company's web application or something like that, we set up the program for that company to actually reward the hacker. So they can actually pay the hacker to find these vulnerabilities. So it incentivizes the hacker. I mean, if you think about it, it's like Uber, right? It's like Uber maybe 10 years ago, where instead of paying the taxi driver right away, or like instead of waiting for a cab or something like that, you're able to basically like go to my company, go to Bugcrowd, and say, hey, we want to throw all of your ethical hackers at our web application. I want them to really kick the tires, find everything they can, anything that could be vulnerable, anything like that, so we can be proactive and not get hacked by the bad guys. So it really is like, it's like this like global battle of like good versus evil with the good hackers and the bad hackers. And they're, like I said, the best way to fight fire is with fire. And the bug bounty programs and rewarding the hackers. And I mean, these people are able to get paid. It's almost like the service economy of Uber and Lyft and these companies, but with the hacker community. So anyone can become an ethical hacker. Anyone can train to find vulnerabilities for these companies, and then work with Bugcrowd after they're vetted and all of that. And they can make good money off of finding vulnerabilities. I mean, we're talking thousands of dollars they sign up with us. They're finding vulnerabilities for all these massive companies. I can't disclose like the exact companies, but there are some big ones out there that you'd be surprised.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's so much to learn about cybersecurity, about all these good hackers, and so many of these things. And I'm sure with people like you in the days forward, it should be a much, much safer cyber world. Let's see. Hope it turns out to be that way. As I said, there's so much to learn about these things. A lot of people may want to connect with you, learn more about you, learn about how they can connect with you, get your help. What is the best way for them to do so?
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I'm always open to even just like connecting on a professional level. Like I said, I do a lot. I can give advice. I've lived a lot of lives, I feel like, in the 25 years that I've been here. So whether it's just connecting, networking, whether it's talking shop about what it's like to try to start up a small business. And I wouldn't say that I'm an expert with the small business world and Etsy. That's something that I'm still learning. So if someone wants to advise me on that, I'm always open to criticism and learning more about that world, because I'm trying to make money on the side, trying to pay off my loans. I have a lot of these issues that I'm trying to solve as well financially. So. And with Bugcrowd, with cybersecurity, it's the same thing. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. It's Tyler Cullen. It should be one of the first, if not the first name to pop up. Again, it's Tyler Cullen on LinkedIn. I'm happy to talk about almost anything. That's also why I was interested in doing a podcast, and that's why that I'm here today, is because I'm an open book. I'll help you if I can, whether it's, again, like entrepreneurship, even like if you're going through a master's in business like I am, and you want like study help or tactics to get better as a student, I'm there. I don't turn anyone away, and I'm always open to helping people because I think that that's really the ultimate reward. It's two things. It's knowledge for the sake of knowledge is good in and of itself, like I said. And then what really amplifies that is being able to share that knowledge with other people, and sharing that hustle and like that motivation that you have,
Right.
sharing that energy, because that ultimately is infectious. You can infect other people with your energy and your knowledge and all of that. So yeah,
Absolutely.
lots of good stuff.
Absolutely. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you for having me.